nil. I did say it'd be a tough game, but I didn't think it'd be that bloody tough. We made it hard on ourselves. An absolutely abject, soulless, non-energetic, poor performance from Liverpool today. I don't think they deserved that now of the game. They were that poor. They had a few chances late on, but the game was already over at that stage. It was too late, too little, too late. The team, you could say, okay, it was a bit of a mixed team. Nunes' injury did not help. Of course, he didn't start. Thiago had an ear infection. There's always some reason, isn't there? But that team he had out today should have been good enough to beat Forest. There's no excuses. That team should have been good enough to beat Forest today, but it wasn't. Forest were quicker to the ball, forced to the ball. They didn't have a huge amount of quality. They didn't need to have a huge amount of quality. Did Henderson have much to do for their goalkeeper? Maybe only until the last 10 minutes when they went 1-0 up. But other than that, we just weren't good enough today. We didn't deserve that now. That's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward as in City, West Ham wins, and 1 step back today. I mean, only for Alisson, they could have had another 1 or 2. But, I mean, there's no man of the match there today. No one stood out. Other than Alisson, I mean, you couldn't blame him for the goal. He hit the post and it was a rebound. Ex-Liverpool player Thiago, of course. But other than that, guys, that's abject. That's terrible. That is really, really poor. And it puts us back. I mean, it doesn't give us any confidence for the midweek game against Ajax. Get your comments in. Hit the like button. Let's get a few people in here, guys. Mark Forrest, poor today. Jesus, poor is a word. I could use other words than poor. I mean, just abject, soulless, as I say. Really, really poor. Terrible away record, says Jan Toy. Yeah, I didn't realize the record was so bad. I think it's 2 losses, 2 wins. Sorry, 2 losses, 2 draws. Now it's 3 losses, 2 draws. Okay, you can lose at Old Trafford. You can lose at the Emirates. But can you lose at the City Ground for a team that's bottom of the league? Can you put in such an abject performance? I mean, Curtis Jones midfield did not do himself any favours going forward. He was absolutely terrible, but not many stood out today anyway. Fabinho wasn't good. Elliott did bits. Salah, one of his quietest games you'll ever see. But then again, the midfield wasn't giving him anything. Young Carvalho up front, they pitied him. Bobby was very quiet, non-existent. Back four looked rattled. Gomez looked rattled again, once or twice got caught. Gave away a free kick, which ultimately ended in a goal. He threw a few phases, got rattled, got a yellow for it. Van Dijk could have scored first half. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was looking for Bobby in the far post. That was the only thing in the whole first half. But even at 0-0 half time, the tempo just wasn't right. We needed to make substitutions, but we hadn't got anything on the bench. We'd no strikers to bring on. Brought on Ox, did nothing. We brought on Henderson, did nothing. Brought on Trent, did a bit. Had a header, unlucky, straight at the keeper though. But I'm worried after that performance. That performance has set us back. Forget about the City win. Forget about the West Ham win. If you cannot beat Nottingham Forest in the league, I don't care if you're home or away, if you cannot beat their team, it's not looking good, is it? It is not looking good. And that's a backward step. There's no doubt about it. Hit the like. We've 11 people in. Let's get those likes up and stay on for a while. With instant match reaction, Liverpool have been beaten by 1-0. Oh, I wouldn't say that now, Jan. Come on, you're jumping the gun there. Klopp out. No, the players were poor today. That team he put out today should be good enough to beat Forest. The players let Klopp down today. The players let the fans down today. Not Klopp. I mean, he had to put a team out. Nunes, injury, risk. Wasn't going to risk him? No chance. He was never going to be risked in a game like this with the Ajax game midfield or midweek coming up. He was just never going to be risked. And he was right not to risk him. You know what I mean? At least hopefully he's available for the midweek game against Ajax. But abject performance. Really, really poor performance from Liverpool today. One of our worst performances, I think. Because they gave us nothing. We're terrible away from Anfield in the Premier League, says Nelson. We are, absolutely. We've lost 3 league games and all of them have been away from home. All of them have been away from home. United away, Arsenal away, now Forest away. But Forest of all is the worst of all. Forest of all. Hendo should have started, says Jan. Hindsight, maybe this, maybe that game's over. The result's 1-0. I did say today that Forest beat us 1-0 in the very first ever Premier League game back in 1992, and I hope it doesn't come back to haunt us, and it did. It's done it again, 1-0. Same as the 1992. Look it up. I think it was Teddy Sheringham maybe with the goal. Liverpool went to the City Ground, the very first game in the new Premier League era, and we lost 1-0, and we've lost 1-0 again today. I think it's the first time in 23 years playing them in the league. We beat them 1-0 in the Cup last year, and that was a tough game. That could have went either way, so the crowd were up for it, but they'll still probably get relegated. I mean, that's the sad fact. But Liverpool, oh my God, that's bad. That is bad. Reset, are we back? No, we're not. We're not back. I mean, you could beat City, Played really well. Deserved to win that. West Ham wasn't great midweek. West Ham was not great midweek. Let's be real. That could have easily ended in a 1-1. I think we got away with one against West Ham. But I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear about injuries. You won't hear me coming on about injuries. You won't hear me coming on about excuses. You won't hear me coming on about being tired in the middle of October, the end of October. It won't happen. That 11 out there today and what was on the bench was good enough to be Forest. They just didn't do it. They didn't do it for the manager. They didn't do it for the club. They didn't do it for the fans. Simple. More points drops it. Crazy, says Ravi. Hit the like, guys. Let's get those likes right up. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, Klopp looks like he's going to explode, didn't he? I mean, bringing on Ox, though, what was the left? What was it, on 76, 77? I mean, he hasn't kicked the ball in about 25 years, so he needs more time. Caffeine addict, the disgrace. We can forget about Champions League. Well, big job midweek against Ajax. We've got to get something out of that to get in, to stay in the Champions League. Never mind that else. Jones looked very poor, says Seamus. Jones did not do his cause any good today. I mean, he really didn't. Jones was just poor. I don't know what. It didn't help. The whole midfield was poor, but I thought Jones was going to step up. He was the one who needed to step up. You know what I mean? No Thiago, no creativity midfield. Need to spend on quality, says Atom. Thiago would have made a difference today, I think. Just for someone to stick, put their foot in the ball. Bit of intelligence, slow the game down, speed the game up, look for that pass. There was nobody in the midfield that could do that today. Elliott was disappointing. Everyone was disappointing. Embarrassing, mate. Anfield Road TV, Jack. I did a bit of a watch along the second half of Jack. Embarrassing is not the word. Nelson, correct me if I'm wrong. The next Liverpool game is against Ajax in Amsterdam. You are absolutely correct. We only needed a draw there. But, Jesus, I'll tell you what, that's looking unlikely now, isn't it? Team sheet was so disjointed, says Mark. Seamus Moore, the club is carrying passengers. Need to look at moving on players. Not that easy. They're on contracts. They're on big wages, big contracts. They're not just going to walk away. They can play in under 21s and still get their 60, 70 grand a week. Doesn't bother them. I hope Ajax beat the hell out of Liverpool in the next game, says Caffeine Addict. I think we'd be okay. We only need a draw on that. And even if we did slip up, we still have the Napoli game at Anfield. But I'm more about today. I mean, Forest 1, Liverpool 0. The performance, the results one thing, the performance. I mean, their keeper, okay, 2 or 3 good saves laid on, but that was more out desperation. That was more about Forest clinging on. But what did we do before that? What did we do in 90% of the game? Nothing really. I mean, a ball over the top, Van Dijk. Was he going for goal? Was he looking for Bobby in the far post? That was basically summed up our whole performance. It was disjointed. Didn't know what we were going to do. Did not know what we were going to do. I don't know what Klopp does. Hopefully Nunes is back. I know it was just precaution. Hopefully Thiago's back. We'll need them for the Ajax game. We'll need them for the Leeds game at Anfield. They were a different animal at Anfield. It's our away form is really worrying me. Really, really worrying. I thought today was a perfect game. Perfect game. I was worried with the team and the bench, to be fair. It's not the strongest of Liverpool teams, but no excuses from me. Congratulations to Forest, of course. Big win for them. Maybe they can kick on now. I don't know. Did a video with Mr. Dorr the other night. He wasn't even thinking Liverpool would do anything. I said this would be a tough game. I knew there'd be any goal in it. I was hoping it'd be in Liverpool's favour and not in Forest's, but so poor. So poor. Elliott and Carvalho are not ready. They're being thrown in because of injuries. We've no choice but to throw them in. I'd rather Carvalho coming on. I think he makes more of an impact. I mean, if Nunes is fit, Nunes starts today. Carvalho comes on maybe. Elliott was okay in bits, but there's no one else around him. There's nobody looking for the ball. The ball was bouncing off players. The ball was not sticking to players. The passes, sometimes we were passing the ball into midfield. There was nobody there. Gomez giving the ball away, getting caught. It is not good. It's a bad day today. It's a bad day at the office. It really is. And we've had a few this season. That's the problem. Lack of quality in the summer, Dave. We can go back to the summer. Look, I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the 90 plus minutes at the City Ground. That's what I want to talk about. Don't really want to talk about injuries. We can talk about injuries till the cows come home. That 11 that started today, Doug, hope you're well, was good enough to beat Forest. They just didn't play. They just didn't have the tempo, the belief, the courage to play and go at Forest. It was all sideways, backwards, I think Alisson more touches than our midfield. That performance is a joke today. Top 4 looks miles away at this moment. Nothing on the bench either, says Paul. That's exactly what I'm saying, Paul. Nothing on the bench. We had nothing on the bench to change it. We had no strikers when we went 1-0 down. Bringing on Ox, I mean, hasn't played in 100 years. Did nothing. Our subs did really no. Trent did okay when he came on, I suppose. But my God, that's back to square one. That's an embarrassment of a performance, really. As I say, you can lose to United away, the quality they have. You can lose to Arsenal away. They're up there at the top. Yes, you can. But to lose to Forest away, bottom of the league, no heart, no fight. That's a problem. North Red is not happy with FSG. I'm sure all the boys will be out today with FSG. And look, you can blame FSG. Maybe they're at the root cause, but that was a good enough team to be for us today. There's no doubt about it. Even when I seen the lineup at 11:30, I was saying to myself, that's an interesting lineup. Still should be good enough, but I was worried. And I want the bookies were giving you 10 or 11 to 1 on Forest today. 10 or 11 to 1 for them to beat Liverpool. Should have took the bet. Really, really poor. Hit the like, hit the share. Let's get a few people in, guys, to wallow in this poor performance from Liverpool today. I mean, really embarrassing results. Didn't do enough to get out now of it, to be fair. I mean, did Forest do enough to win it? Probably not. I mean, hitting, hoping, they were compact, defended well when they had to defend well. The keeper was good in the last 10-15. Took their chance. But other than that, I mean, we just weren't at the races. Simple as. We were not at the races. Injuries will cost us top four if we don't buy a midfielder and a centre-back, Dave. Maybe. Jackie, what the hell happened today? Not good enough, Reds. Not good at all. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely disgraceful, to be fair. Hit the like, hit the share. Let's get people in, baby. The more likes, the more people comes in. And we can have a bit of chat and wallow in this terrible. It's ruined my weekend. This is so bad. FSG is trending now, I'd say. FSG out is trending right now. So poor. So poor. But didn't do anything to deserve anything better. I don't think. I just think if we would have got a late equaliser, would have papered over the cracks, to be fair. We could have got a late one with 2 or 3 chances there at the end. I think if the game would have still been played now, we probably wouldn't have scored. It would have just been papering over the cracks, because that was abject. Is that a word we'd use? Abject performance. Embarrassing. And soulless. I mean, there's 3 words you could use. You can put them in the paper, Liverpool Echo, wherever you want. Abject, soulless, no control. So many words you can use. Take them out of the dictionary. There's no ratings today. There's going to be no ratings for players today. I mean, I've never not done it, but today I'm not doing it because there's no ratings. I mean, Alisson, can you blame him for the goal? No, comes off the post. He taps it in. Only for Alisson, it could have been 2 or 3. So maybe Alisson's the only one that can get a rating. I'll give Alisson a 7. Everybody else gets a 4 just for coming onto the bloody pitch. But I mean, even Salah, look, you can blame Salah. He was running, he was willing, but he just didn't do enough either, did he? Trying to be too smart at times, but he wasn't getting enough from midfield. Wasn't getting anything from midfield. Klopp can call out teams being owned by states, but Brighton was West Ham, Bournemouth, Arsenal haven't had Champions League money in years and outspending us. Good points, is it, Tom? This is 06, 07 all over again when we struggled to win away from Anfield in the Premier League. Nelson, absolutely. Oh my God. I really thought today was a chance to lay down a marker. I really thought. Just get the win, get the 3 points, move on. Ajax midweek, big game. Only need a point to qualify. Park that. Leeds at Anfield. We've the likes of Spurs away. We've Southampton at Anfield. Games, winnable games. But after that, is any game winnable is the question. Is any game winnable after that abject, terrible performance from Liverpool today? Really poor in all departments. Defending looked a bit shoddy at times. Didn't know what to do. Going forward, didn't know to go forward or to come back. The midfield was all over the shop at times, getting caught behind the ball. Barella must be a target in January. Well, maybe. Says Gary Richards. Hit the like, guys. Let's get people in here. Let's get up to 20 likes. Let's go. Caffeine addict. Should have used thiago. Liverpool can't afford to lose points. Champions League shouldn't be a priority. Look, let's be real. Thiago wasn't even at the bloody match. He wasn't even on the bench. Thiago had an ear infection. If it's not an injury, it's an ear infection. So hopefully he's back for the Ajax game. We're going to need him because I think today would have suited Thiago, but he wasn't there. That's the problem. He wasn't there. And if Thiago's there, probably Curtis Jones doesn't play. There we go. Mark saying he had an ear infection. Exactly. They gave me an ear infection today. They've absolutely given me one. LFC stays. How are you, my friend? What's next, Dave? Because this This isn't the one-off. It's going to keep happening. It is as simple as buying players. It's quality players, the right players. It won't happen. No, I mean, it's not as if it's one-off, or I'm even surprised, really. I mean, away form's been really, really poor. Really poor. I mean, we've lost 3 now away from home and drawn 2 out of 5 away games in the Premier League. We haven't won a game. The curse of that jersey, that kit goes on. And the way goes on. And we just don't look comfortable. I know it's a professional thing and stuff like that. People keep talking about it. How can your home form be so good and your away form be so bad? Mentally, it's the same size pitch. It's the same football. You're playing 11 against 11. It has to be psychological. It has to be mental. Partly the away crowd and stuff like that. The referee wasn't great again today either. But I'm not going to give out about that. I just don't think Liverpool played today. We deserve to lose. We were not good enough today. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Congrats to Forest. They need the points. It's a huge 3 points for Forest. It has to be said. You know, coming into the game, they would have took a draw. They would have took your arm off for a draw. A win, I think, was over the moon for them. I know a few Forest fans. There was no chance they were thinking they were going to get a win today, but they've got one. Champions League, our only hope, I guess. Atmosphere plays a massive part, says Mark. Yep. Well, it does at Anfield for us, I suppose. I mean, that's why we're so good at Anfield. But the away, I mean, we weren't brilliant away in the last 2 or 3 years. When we won the league, you know, we were winning. We were winning away from home, you know, and we were nasty to watch at times. We were lucky at times. We were dogged at times. Not great to watch at times, but we were getting results. We were getting 1-0s. We were getting 2-1s, you know. But today, just all over the shop. Even Van Dijk had a really poor game. There was no control at the back. Fabinho was lost in midfield. So the spine again today was poor. And I said at the start, if the spine play well, we win. Alisson now, the spine, the only one who can put his hand up and say he was okay. Only for Alisson, of course. No chance with the goal. Pulled off 2 or 3 really good saves. Fabinho, Van Dijk and Mo Salah. That was the spine. And we're really poor. 4 out of 10 for all of them today. 4 out of 10 for everybody today. Maybe even 3 for some of them. But Alisson 7 because he'd nothing to do with it. He was the only player who actually played and came out with us with anything. Alisson. And he's been brilliant all season. But even Klopp, I mean, I just... Is it arrogance? Is it thinking maybe we just turn up and we beat them? Although he did say yesterday he was expecting a tough game and the crowd and all that type of thing. So he certainly knew about it. He knew about City Ground. We knew with the FA Cup game last year. That was a tight game. We weren't coming into this game with huge confidence, but we were certainly coming into the game in better confidence than we had been 2 or 3 weeks ago. But that's a setback now. That is a setback. There's just no doubt about it. You cannot lose to Nottingham Forest and beat City, beat West Ham, beat Rangers 7-1 away, and then lose 1-0 to Forest. I mean, that nice little run we had, saying we're turning corners. We have turned a corner and hit a brick wall, basically. We have turned a corner and hit a brick wall. And that's not good enough. The jury is out. We got to go again. Can't put our heads down. We got to get Nunes, Thiago back in. We got to get something out of Ajax midweek. And then turn up for Leeds next weekend. I mean, that's another one we're expected to win. Leeds are hot and cold. But we've been hot and cold all season, this season. Hot and cold. You don't know what team's going to turn up. Is it going to be the team to beat City and mauled Rangers? Or is it a team that turned up against United? Turned up against Arsenal? Turned up against Forest today? Is that going to be is it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde Liverpool? Yes, it is. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's our season so far. And we can't wait on Jota. We can't wait on Diaz or someone to come in January. That's months away. We've got 6, 7, 8 games this side of the World Cup. Huge games to get back in it, get back moving. We got to go again. And Ajax midweek's not going to be any easier. Not easy. Hot and frozen, more like Dave says, LFC stays. We froze today. I mean, that was a refrigerator performance, really was. That was... I don't know what to say. It was so bad. So poor. Really, really poor performance of Liverpool today. And got to do something quick. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we could go on another run again, get a result against Ajax, you know, beat Leeds, go again. But it's too erratic. It's too chaotic. There's no control in it. You're not going into games saying, we're going to win this today. You're not really. There's always in the back of your mind, are we going to have another performance like that? Are we going to, you know, be sloppy in midfield? Are we not going to take our chances? We didn't have a great amount of chances. That's the sad part, Pac. Lack of investment in the squad over the last 3 years really starting to show now. No more excuses from FSG. Show me the money. Yep. Yep. We could talk about that all till the cows come home. Can't see an out here, says Mark. It's bleak at the moment. It's certainly bleak. We can't let Jurgen Klopp leave, but the person who should be sacked is FSG. But the owners can't sack themselves, can they? Jurgen Klopp have won titles with us, and who will be his replacement? Klopp ain't go nowhere. We just got to invest and get 2 or 3 players in, get our injured players back. But it's mentality. I don't know where that mentality's gone. It's where has that mentality monster's gone? Where is that? Win at all costs, win every ball, tempo. Where's that gone? That's not there. That's even more of a problem. You can lose a game. You can have a bad performance, but the tempo's not right. The confidence isn't there. The front line don't look as scary as they used to. You know what I mean? Salah is hot and cold. That's more scary than the result. It's the performance. We go back to it, the United game. That was absolutely a disgrace up against your biggest rivals, turning over like that, 2-1. Bit better against Arsenal. Could have went either way. 1 or 2 dodgy decisions. We weren't great against Arsenal. Even midweek, West Ham weren't great. Dogged performance. Hung in there. Wasn't a great performance. Could have easily ended 1-1. Got the result, and I thought they would just build from today, take the win and move on. It's not just squad depth. We have a big problem. We do, Mark, absolutely. We have a big problem. I think it's getting mentally now, which is even worse. It's hard to shift. Once you have a problem psychologically, mentally, it is so much harder and, a bigger job. It's basically a bigger job. The players' heads down, walking off. Yes, didn't deserve any better out today. Congrats to Forest, as I said earlier. But absolutely abject, dismal from Liverpool. Dismal. Hit the like. Let's get it up to 20 likes, guys. Let's get a few people in because I need to fume a little bit here. DHTV, dreadful that day, but the injuries are killing us. The mentality comes from having a world-class 11 in the Champions League. Trent, Karate, Henderson, Thiago, Mana, Diaz started with a bench of Jota. Exactly, the bench didn't help today as well. We had nothing really to change the game. Absolutely nothing to change the game. If you had a Jota, you had a Diaz, you had a Nunes on the bench, it gives you something when you go 1-0 down. But I was looking at the bench when we went 1-0 down and going, not much to change it here. I mean, Trent came on, did okay. Header, straight to keeper. Henderson, I don't think he did much when he came on. So there wasn't much on the bench. That was the bigger problem. Obviously, Thiago out with an ear infection and Nunes with that hamstring risk, which he was never going to be risked, though. We all need to fume, let out our rage, yeah. Oh, God, I mean, it's just not good for your health following Liverpool at the moment, is it? Even when we're winning, it's not good for your health because you get a heart attack. So it's certainly not good when you're losing or you're playing so poorly as they did today, And I was a little worried. I have to say, I was a little worried when I seen the starting 11. I just said that midfield looked a little bit unbalanced, let's say. Carvalho doesn't seem to do well when he starts. But we'd no bench. We'd nobody on the bench. We couldn't change it. We just couldn't change it. There was no protection for the back four today. So Van Dijk and Gomez were being exposed. Not overly exposed, of course, but wow. Cooking with Trevoh. Paul Trevoh was in, my friend. What did we say about before the City game? We'll go out and stuff them and then probably lose to a crap team. So frustrating. Paul, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is just, wow. This is a huge step backwards. This is 2 steps forward with West Ham and City and, 3 steps back. We've a huge game midweek. Ajax, absolutely huge. Okay, we don't need to win it, but still, it becomes even bigger now. Mentally going into that game, what will we be like? Then Leeds next week. I mean, it's just we don't know what team's going to turn up. That's the problem. We do not know what team's going to turn up. Will the real Liverpool please stand up? I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I don't know. We could have done with Thiago today, absolutely. Will he be back midweek? Probably. It does change our midfield. It absolutely does. It gives us more. It gives us more up front as well. But no excuses. That team today should have been good enough. They just didn't turn up. No excuses. That team today was good enough on paper to be the bottom of the table team. Forest, who, at the end of the day, probably still get relegated. Have we backed Jurgen Klopp? I don't think we have, says Nelson. You mean FSG? Obviously, we can go back to FSG, not backing them in winter and windows and stuff like that. Absolutely. But look, the window's 2 months away, 2.5 months away, guys. We've games to come before them. We've got to stick together. We've got to get results. We've got to bounce back quickly after this. We're like a bloody yo-yo at the moment. Like a yo-yo. Paul, but you're absolutely correct. Yo-yo mentality so far from Liverpool. But I'm going to get a bollock and work on Monday from the Arsenal United fans. And just this team is just giving me far too many bollockins. Hopefully they get a bollocking from Klopp, but I don't know whether that'll even work. People talking about refresh, Bellingham, umbrella, etc. But forget it. Forget about it with no Champions League. Exactly. If we're not in the Champions League next summer, Bellingham won't be coming to Liverpool. You've got to be up there. You've got to be challenging. Mark Forrest, we all will, absolutely. Instant match reaction, guys. Instant demoralising reaction with Liverpool losing by 1-0. Oh my God. It hit the post. They were lucky there. It bounced out. But he was there to react. Theo out the chances. They had 1 or 2 chances on the break. Alisson pulled off 2 saves. But us up front, how many chances have we got? Last 10, we just piled on the pressure out of frustration, out of desperation. The keeper pulled off 1 or 2 really good saves, but it was too little too late. Too little too late. Only if Jude is an agreement already. I don't know about that one, Mark. I still think Madrid have an eye on him. I really do. Madrid won't let him go to Liverpool easily. There is absolutely no doubt about it. I think we're dreaming talking about January, guys. Forget about January. Forget about it. We're weeks away, 9-10 weeks away from January. We got to concentrate in the game in hand. We got to concentrate in the next few games. The Ajax midweek, the Leeds next weekend. We got to fucking get a team out there to get a result midweek. You know, I mean, wow. The 100% gamer. If Carvalho, Jones, and Elliott are the future of Liverpool midfield, you may as well get used to mediocrity. But a nice shiny new sheets. Disgraceful how they let the squad get so depleted. Absolutely, yeah. No, wait, listen, I still think Harvey Elliott and young Fabio Carvalho are brilliant, but they've been thrown in too early, I think. But we have so bleeding many injuries. We've no choice. We've no choice. Did Salah do home early? He was invisible the whole game, says Luis Diaz. He wasn't visible today, but it didn't help the midfield was so poor. I mean, there was no connection between midfield and forward line. It was disjointed. There was nothing there. You need the midfield to play well. You need the midfield to be cutting through and opening up their defence for our forward line to do anything. Bobby was quiet as well, didn't help. And young Fabio Carvalho was very quiet. We walk with hope against Leeds United, and you never walk alone. Cheers, Anfield Red, says Jackie. Absolutely. Listen, we're not going to give up supporting Liverpool over a bad result. I mean, it's been a bad, 25% of a season so far. So Carvalho looks every bit of a 4 million Brazilian. I'm sorry, he's just 100% gamer. Relax. It's early. He's only a young kid. He's been thrown in early. I'm not going to blame the result today on Carvalho. It's more on the spine. Really, Alisson you can't blame. But I mean, Fabinho, Van Dijk wasn't good defence. He wasn't controlling. He wasn't marshalling that defence like we'd expect. Fabinho, I don't know what's happened to Fabinho. I really don't know what happened to Fabinho. His form has just gone so bad. And Salah up front, hot and cold. Spider's in. Spider LFC, how are you, my friend? What's your thoughts on the game? Other than absolutely shite. That was shite. Spine was awful. There we go. Spine was awful. Absolutely awful. For me, it was just an abject performance. No heart, no desire, no control. Too many players not playing. So heart destroying, says Mark. Well, there you go. In 3 words. Heart destroying. Absolute disgrace. Yeah, poor, abject performance. I don't know what Klopp does from this. I'm sure he's not happy. I'm sure the players aren't happy, but Harvey was brilliant again today. I think Harvey tried, but I wouldn't say he was brilliant. No, he lost the ball a few times and got caught. He just tried, though. I'll give him that. He has heart. There's no doubt about it for a young lad, but nobody was brilliant today. Nobody. Fabinho got robbed. Him and his family were staying in a hotel. Yeah, I know that psychologically. Yeah, I heard it hit him hard, yeah. He was robbed. Those scumbags did rob him and it hit him hard, but that was a while ago. I'm hoping Fabinho had got over that. Tony, play the kids for the rest of the season. These aren't ours. Clear as day, says Tony. We may have no choice. Jones has lost his flair and turned into a second guesser, says Spider. I think Jones, when he came onto the starting lineup today, I think it was a big game for Jones. I don't think it worked out for him. And he's only going to get so many chances at Liverpool with our injuries. Jones is only going to get so many starts, but he's got to show on those starts, especially way at Forest, but he didn't do it today. He did not do it today. He didn't show up today, Jones. He really, really didn't. And that was disappointing for him and his career. I'm not saying it's over, but he's got it. Far too many times has he started and just not done it. Just not done it. And today was one of those opportunities and he didn't do it. He didn't turn up. That was disappointing for me. It really was. Not that anybody did, but for him, for himself, starting a big game like that, a game where you're expected to win. Even Forest fans expected Liverpool to win. They expected to lose and probably lose badly. Really? But it was never on. It was never on. Even the first half, 0-0. Van Dijk with a header. I don't know what he was doing. They had one or two half chances. It looked flat, deflated. To get yourself going second half. We are usually better second half and stuff like that, but we just never got going. There was never anything. There was nothing there. No green shoots. We only start playing when we went 1-0 down. It was too late. Too late. Too little, too late. You know, we had a few chances near the end, but it was too late. Would have been only papering over the cracks if we got out now of that. Papering over the cracks. And unfortunately, the cracks are widening. That's what I said before. I don't think it's a walkover. I never thought it'd be a walkover. I did two shows yesterday. I said 2-1 or 1-0. It's going to be a tight game. Everybody was saying 3-4, 5-0. Knew that wasn't going to happen in the Premier League. It's just the way the game panned out. Historically, Liverpool, Forest, of course, have a big rivalry going back to the 80s and 90s. Jones has been given loads of opportunities. He walked around like he was a made footballer. He's far from it. He wasn't even looking for the ball. The body language is so bad. Yeah, I think it's a big backward step for young Curtis Jones today. Unfortunately for him, he needed to turn up. He needed to show something. He didn't. No one really did, to be fair. But for him, starting, he doesn't get many starts. And when he starts, he's got to do something. He's got to show something to Klopp, show something to the fans. And that was a big letdown today. That was a big, big letdown today. Because he did absolutely nothing today. Neither did anybody, except for Alisson. I mean, Alisson, yeah. But even on their team, there was no outstanding performances. They were putting their foot in. The ball was falling to them. They were getting their long legs in. They were clearing it last ditch. The keeper pulled off 2 or 3 saves near the end. There was no real control with them. They were catching us on the break because we were getting caught so far up front. But we got to be better than that. I mean, the coach home today to Liverpool will not be a happy one. It will not be. I mean, they'll have their earphones on. Klopp will not be happy in Kirby tonight or tomorrow. Embarrassing. I'm just so embarrassing. I should have put €20 on the 10-1 Forest. Jesus Christ. I was looking at it last night. But I knew it'd be tricky. I really did think it'd be tricky, especially if they scored first. But to come back, we didn't have the bench to change it. That was another problem for me. We'd no bench. The bench was so thin. There was no strikers on the bench. Nunes, that little niggle in the West Ham game didn't help. It did not help for the way he looked good in the game. But it would have been papering over cracks, to be fair. Paul Owens, we've been too complacent this season. So easy to play against us. And Carver's open. Ali is the only one playing brilliantly at the moment. Yep, Alisson was good today as well. I mean, 2 or 3 really good saves. No chance for the goal. 6 yards out. Tap in. I mean, Alisson must feel frustrated as well. I mean, you're looking at that back four in front of you. No protection from the midfield. The forward line not looking as dangerous as they should do. Oh, I suppose it all goes back to no real proper investment, especially in midfield, you would say. We're crying out for a midfielder today. A creative midfielder, an attacking midfielder. Thiago would have been perfect for today, but Thiago wasn't there. Ear infection. Kanate's back next week. Naby's back, but how long will that last? Oxlade-Chamberlain came on, did nothing really. But guys, we got to be better than that. We got to have more control. Got to have just more. More. Is that the word I want to use? This means more. Should have more. Twitter will melt down today. I'm sure Twitter will melt down. I'll be on it later. But then I was looking forward to the Chelsea United game. All of a sudden, it doesn't even matter anymore. Maybe a draw there you're hoping for. But my God, I mean, that's a bad start to the weekend. It really is. It can't be Forest, Not only can't beat them, get beaten by them. Can't even score against them. 1-0. Really, really poor. The Forest fans will be over the moon. Mr. Dorr will be over the moon. Congrats to them. It's a great win for them. It's a big scalp for them. Will they move on from here? Will they take the confidence from that? They needed it. They'd only won since today. We've given them a 100% win rate now They've 2 wins, out of 12 games. Oh my God, this is bad. This is bad. This is embarrassing. It really, really is. I wasn't going to do an instant match reaction. I was just going to do a 2-3 minute recorded video. But I probably had to get this out of my head anyway. Had to get this out into the open. Hot and cold. Hot and cold. 1 minute brilliant, next minute average. Today, below average. Actually below. They were average against West Ham. They really were. Below average against West Ham, but today below average. Everybody was a 4, a 3, or a 4, except for Alisson. But it's not even worth doing ratings. It's just not worth doing ratings on a game like that. So poor. Let's get it to 20 likes, guys. One more to get it to 20. Let's go. Hit that like. Let's get people in. I'll stay on for another while. Try get this fume out of me. I might go out for a few beers tonight, but be more of a, swallowing your pride than, celebrating anything. Yeah, I agree. It was a shocking result, says Mark. Absolutely shocking. Shocking. Doesn't do it justice. Shocking doesn't do it justice. That was just poor. Is that the word I'm going to use? Poor. Everyone from, obviously Alisson, we leave out of it, but the back 4. Milner did okay, I have to be said. He got taken off. Milner did okay, but I can't give anybody over a 4. I really can't. I can't give anybody more than a 4 except Alisson, who gets a 7. No chance with the goal. And only for him, it could have been 3 or 4. I mean, that's telling you something. Not that Forest were 3 or 4 goals better than us. Just we were opened up. I mean, you wouldn't mind if we tried. You wouldn't mind if their keeper got man of the match and we were hitting the post and it was, pulling off. We were slicing through them and we were unlucky and should have did better. But there was none of that. There was none of that. There was none of it. There was no midfield. The midfield was non-existent. There was no protection for the back 4. So every time they came forward, they had chances. You know what I mean? Nothing today. The overhaul that's needed doing on this team is going to cost a lot of money. Says FSG announced that they got planning for more seats. That's a relief. We can watch 39-year-old Milner in a 140,000-seater stadium, says the gamer. Yeah. Andrew Ward was working today, so completely missed it. Just as well you did, bro. Just as well. Thought it was a normal kickoff time. Glad I didn't see it. It was a half 12 kickoff. We keep talking mentally about we don't like half 12 kickoffs. Historically, we don't. There's no excuses today. There's no excuses. There's no FSG. We didn't invest. There's no, injuries. There's no half 12 early kickoff. There's no, we don't win in that bloody jersey, away jersey. That team that was out there today was full of internationals. That team, most of them, have won the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League. They can't go to Forest, who've just come up, had only 1 win, 3 draws, 7 losses. Bournemouth beat them 3-2 there. Bournemouth beat them 3-2. And we get beaten 1-0. No excuses there. You can have all the excuses you want. That team should have been too good for Forest, but didn't turn up, didn't play. So the only excuse I would have is Klopp didn't, throw the hairdryer at them at half-time or whatever, the kettle, whatever at them at half-time, because that was abject. It was, motionless. There was no midfield. Emotional. There was no emotion. There was no press. That press is basically gone. We did it against City, to be fair, but we just can't do it in consecutive games. We didn't really do it against West Ham. I thought we were a little lucky against West Ham. That would have been papering over cracks today if we would have got a 1-1. If we would have scored late on there, it would have been papering over cracks. There's so many cracks. It's like the San Andreas fault. But whose fault is it? A lot of people saying FSG. A lot of people saying Klopp with the lineup, but I don't think he'd much choice with the lineup. And people would say maybe Hendo instead of Fab. Maybe Ox instead of Carvalho. Maybe. But the options were limited. Options were limited today. But I just think that the missing those 3 up front, Nunes, Diogo, Jota, and Diaz does not help. I mean, if you've got no firepower, you've no help. LFC stays. Dave, do you think football just comes and leaves in cycles? Have we had our 5 years? I do believe. I've been saying it for years. I'm on here 4 years. I've been saying it for years. Good teams come and go. Form comes and go. Life comes and go. It's cyclical. Everything comes and goes. The universe comes and goes. The Big Bang comes and goes. Everything comes and goes. But you can rebuild. Great United teams, great Chelsea teams have come and go, but they rebuilt. They went through a little rough time, rebuilt again. Went through a rough time, rebuilt again. Hunger comes and goes. Yes, it does. But I don't know. Klopp didn't want any more injuries. He brought on Ox for sure. He hasn't played in 3.5 years or something like that. I think it's longer. I think 35 years. But yeah, I mean, look at the bench today. That tells the story in itself. The hunger and the will to win from last season is well and truly gone. Hopefully we can find it again. It's going to be tough, Paul. It is going to be tough to find it. It really is. It's not easy to find mentally, psychologically to find, that winning mentality again. That psychological thing where you go away from home and you say, we're going to win today. We're going to turn up, we're going to win today. That's not there. That's not there. I knew it wasn't there. I wasn't hugely over the moon confident we were going to win today. That's why I said 2-1 or 1-0. I thought it'd be a tight game. It was a tight game, obviously. But, wow. Yes, but their owners spent, Dave, and will spend, and ours won't. Yeah, we're okay, that's true. They did. It was different times back then, obviously, with the 90s with United. But, I don't know. I'm sure Klopp's looking in the mirror. I don't know what. Maybe FSG are looking in the mirror. Mane in the mirror. I don't know what they're doing, but what do? We got to get behind the team. I'm still a Liverpool fan, even though we lost 1-0 to Forest. I'll always be a Liverpool fan no matter what happens. But what do? Ajax midweek. Big game. Dare not lose that and leave it to the last game against Napoli because they're a good side. Get a draw, move on. I don't think we beat Ajax after that performance. Get a draw, move on. Get into the last 16. Park that and just concentrate on Leeds next week. That's all we can do. Hope other teams drop points. Chelsea United today, probably hope for a draw there. Just looking at the Liverpool Ecker player ratings off, for fuck's sake. Player ratings mean nothing today. They really do. I'm not even doing them. That's how much they mean today. I wouldn't even do a player rating today. For what? Fabinho 4, slow on occasion to provide cover for centre-backs, but gradually improved, but didn't offer much in second half and gave the ball away too often. What has happened to him with a big question mark? What has happened to him? I don't know. People saying that he got robbed and stuff like that. Ransacked, actually. His family are involved, but maybe psychologically, but I think it's more than that. I think his form has dipped. It was dipping the end of last season. To be fair, it's not just overnight. He doesn't give us that control anymore. He doesn't give us what he was best at, midfield. FSG can't take loan due to higher interest. Should consider selling Trent and Fabinho. Wow, that's a big show. That's a big show. But we just got to get better. We just got to start winning games. Simple. We can't rest on our laurels and be down in the dumps. We got to move. We got to, hopefully Thiago Nunes back for midweek. We got to get a result against Ajax. And then if we do get a favourable result, got to beat Leeds next Saturday. Simple. Simple as. I mean, say people keep saying football's a really complicated game. I don't think so. I think if you go out with a decent 11, which, I mean, today, yes, we had injuries. Yes, we'd probably far too many injuries than we would have hoped. But it's still a decent 11. I mean, it was still a team. You rock up the Forest and Forest fans are going, that's going to be a tough one today. But it wasn't. We didn't make it tough. We weren't in the boxing ring. I mean, they weren't exactly punching the hell out of us like Mike Tyson in his heyday. But we were like a featherweight there. We weren't doing enough. We weren't carrying our punches. Dave, thanks for this counselling session. The check is in the post. Says Paul Owens. Counselling checking, yeah. It is a bit of a counselling session. You do need a bit of a rant, especially after a performance like that, don't you? My voice is starting to go. That's how bad it was. Wow. 1-0 Forest. Wow. Where do we go from here? That's the big question. Hit the like, hit the share. Let's go, guys. Let's get those likes up to 25. We're on 21 likes. Let's get it up to 25. As I say, I'll stay on for a little while. Probably give it the hour. But it's hard to say what to say now. I mean, I've nearly said all I want to say. It's been just so bad. Abject. If anybody wants to put in the comments, in one word to sum up today's performance. One word to sum up today's performance. Mine is soulless. Absolutely soulless. I think soulless, it's a big word. It's a damning word. I rarely use it against Liverpool, especially a Klopp's Liverpool. But today was just, I don't know. I mean, you take 2 steps forward with the City, the West Ham, and you take 3 steps back. You take 3 steps back. We're back to where we were before we played Rangers. And you're going, what? What has happened here, guys? What has happened here today? I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the teams. I don't know why they're not as confident coming out. Andrew Ward, just wonder where we go from here, up and down like horse knickers. All right, ruined me this weekend. This ruins my weekend exactly. It ruins my Monday going to work. You're nearly hiding behind things. The United fans will be. I hope Chelsea beat them today because still won't hide the bloody fume. I still won't hide the embarrassment because it was Forest, by the way. It was Nottingham Forest. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ. Um, oh my God, oh my God. The frustrating part, Dave, I can see us regressing every win, though. That's the tough part. They depleted the squad and they've lied through their teeth again. I'm worried, to be honest, says the 100% gamer. Well, I'm worried after that performance, but I was worried at the start of the season, to be fair. We're not used to it. We're not used to the last 2, 3 years. Now, I am used to being a Liverpool fan since the 80s. I've seen the good times, seen the bad times. We talked about football being cyclical. We talked about form coming and going. Yes, this will happen. I think we've more pain to come, unfortunately. We really do. We've more painful days at the office. This will not be the last day, but this is painful because it's the bottom team in the league, of course, and it's a game you're expected to win. As I say, you can lose at Old Trafford. You can lose at the Emirates, but lose at City Ground? I don't think so. I don't think you can lose at City Ground without being lambasted. Without being lambasted. And they will be. And to be fair, they deserve to be. They deserve to be because it was soulless today. No drive, no hunger, no fluidity, no ingenuity. I'm using all the big words here. Crap. There's a short word. Crap today. Absolutely crap. Hit the like, hit the share. Let's get a few people in. FSG are out. Greedy owner, says Joseph. Yeah. Do we need new owners? Maybe. Will FSG go lightly? No. Will they invest in January? The answer is maybe. I don't know. They'd be looking at all the players coming back from injury, saying you've Kanata, you've Mbappe, you've Diaz, you've Jota, you've Nunez, you've Thiago, all out injured but coming back. Thiago injured again? No, he wasn't. He had an ear infection, as far as I know. If he's not injured, it's an infection. So he should be okay midweek. Henderson came on and he moved like he was running in porridge along with Fabinho. Fabinho, for me, looks like he's doing the moonwalk. I mean, he's going forward, but he's actually going back. Bit of a Michael Jackson type thing going on there. The Jackson 5 in midfield, I mean, that's how bad it is. They're doing moonwalks in midfield, Liverpool. They just don't have that control. So moonwalk City all over the place. And don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the midfield. Don't blame it on the front line. Blame it on the boogie. But midfield City, that's the midfield, guys. Hit the like, hit the share. Oh my God, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Boogie, bogey, whatever you want to say, that's what we are today. Wow. Whew, I have to rest the voice for a second. Get your comments in, hit the like, hit the share. We stay on for another while, guys. Dismal performance. No ratings today. Don't deserve ratings today. Other than 4 letters, crap. C-R-A-P. You can count Alisson out. He's the only one who actually came out of this game with anything. And he's the goalkeeper. No chance with the goal. Pulled off 2 or 3 good saves. I'm sure he's as frustrated as we are. He loves clean sheets, of course. He really does. But my big worry out today is the performance. It's not the results. You can lose games. Of course you can. It's the performance. It's not as if to say, oh, we deserve more out of the game, the chances we had, the control we had, and we were unlucky. We weren't unlucky. That's the problem. We were not unlucky. We were not unlucky. But Sunday League players play injured. We should have used Nunez. No. I think Nunez and Thiago, no chances. They're ready for a job. We need to get a result midweek against Ajax. And Ajax will be looking at this going, let's get at them because, I mean, they're gone. A draw and they're gone. They'll be looking at this going, we can get at Liverpool. That's even more worrying. Ajax now will get some sort of a boost out of this. Go, well, Nottingham Forest beat them. We can beat them. You know what I mean? Nottingham Forest beat them. We can beat them. I mean, Ajax are a better team than Forest, aren't they? Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. That's my worry. The excuse January and screenshot this, we will not enter the market as we are in top 4 battle and it's too much financial risk. As the Champions League is a big part of our wage structure, says the gamer. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, absolutely. We all know the Champions League is part of the wage structure. It's part of what we do. We need Champions League football, of course, to exist. We needed to get big players in. I mean, who's going to come to us? Is Jude Bellingham going to come to Liverpool in the Europa League? Did Frankie de Jong want to go to United because they're in the Europa League? I'm sure that made this decision for him. You've got to be up there. You've got to be in the Champions League. You've got to be fighting up there for any top player to come. Absolutely. Good comment. Ajax could take us to the cleaners if we don't turn up, says Andrew Ward. We got to turn up. We've got to turn up. We'll end up like turnips. We got to turn up. Amsterdam, I mean, they've been poor. But we're giving them encouragement after that game. They look at that game back. They'll be saying you can get at Van Dijk, you can get at Gomez, you can get at the fullbacks. Their midfield's non-existent. They have a decent midfield, very attacking midfield. They're fast, they're pacey. They'll be licking their lips looking at that 90+ minutes at that Forest game. That's why I just wanted a win. I wanted a dirty win, a 1-0, a 2-1. Just take it, 3 points, no injuries, move on. What did we get? The exact opposite of that. A bad performance, a lethargic performance. No one played well. It was like a pre-season friendly. It was like a pre-season friendly today, and there was no points at stake. There was nothing at stake, and they didn't care. That's the big problem for me. I'm mentally broken about this, says Mark. I'll get over it, absolutely. But right now, instant reaction, absolutely poor performance from Liverpool. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, guys? That's the big question. Hit the like, hit the share, stay on for another while, give it another 10, 15 minutes, but deflated after that. Absolutely deflated. Absolutely deflated. And we got to be better than that. I know we're better than that, but we've seen it too often this season. United, we were absolutely disgraceful against our biggest rivals. Weren't great against Arsenal. Arsenal are a decent side. Even West Ham the other night, that wasn't a great performance. That wasn't a vintage performance. We got away with one at West Ham. And that's why I had alarm bells ringing. After the City game, so good against City. Liverpool are this, Liverpool are that, we're back. We're looking good. Top 4, no chance, all this, blah, blah, blah. A bit of a reality check today, guys. I'm not saying we won't get top 4. I still think we have a chance because the league is so bloody erratic. But you can't be losing away to Forest. You just cannot be losing away to Forest. If you're not getting into the Champions League, the only way FSG will rebuild is by selling some stars, sell a VVD, etc. And that may sound ludicrous, but that would be a move they would happily make. I don't know. That'd be biting off your nose to spite your face, I think. Losing your big players, you're certainly not getting into the top 4 next year if you did that. So I don't know if they would do that. I just think we've got to go again. I keep saying it. Got to reset, go again. The reset button's broke. The reset, we've done about 4 resets already. 4 resets, and it just keeps coming back. I think we're recording it rather than resetting it. We're recording all the bad moments, and there will be a video out, I'm sure, of Liverpool's season. Probably a season, like a DVD or whatever, out on Liverpool's bad parts of the season. You need to spend to make money, says Mark. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Now, we have been blighted by injuries. It has to be said. There's no doubt in that. But that team today, that 11 today, even though it was weakened with injuries and stuff like that, it still should have been good enough to be Forest. It should have been, would have been, could have been, wasn't. That's my problem. It wasn't. It really wasn't. Could have got an equaliser at the end. Papering over cracks. Papering over cracks. We were not good enough today. Congrats to Forest, of course. Big win for them. Maybe this will kick them on. I don't know. But I didn't see much of Forest to say they're a great side either, to be fair. I mean, didn't see much there. But Liverpool, you've got to be better than this. Got to be. The historic scoreline has killed us. We rolled up to there in 92 to start the Premier League and lost 1-0. We lost 1-0 there in 1992. First ever game in the Premier League, and we've done it again today. Hadn't played him in 23 years, something like that. Was it 99? Something like that. If Mane didn't leave, I bet you $1 million we would have bought in Carvalho and Ramsey for a combined $6 million, and that would have been it. Fact. Maybe. We knew it's Christmas last year. Mane wanted to go. We had to let him go. He wanted to go. We can't hold players that want to go. He'd been such a good servant for us. We had to let him go, and he went. That's, I think, why they went for Diaz. Got Diaz in January, and then Nunez again in the summer. We needed to do something. We did that, but we needed to do something in midfield too. We didn't do that. That's the problem. We didn't do it in midfield. We needed an attacking or a defensive midfielder, or both, and we didn't do it. Brought in Arthur Mello. I mean, what happened there? I mean, he's out injured. He'd probably never kick a ball for Liverpool. He came on a few minutes in the game. He'd probably never see a Liverpool ball. He'd probably never see Kirby again. I think he's gone. He'd probably go back in January. I mean, it's just been an absolute shithouse of a season. If we get out now of this season, we get top 4 out of this season, it'll be a good season. If we get top 4 right now, what is it, 24th, 22nd of October, we get top 4 now, it was a good season. Get a bit of a run in the Champions League, quarterfinals or whatever. Where we are, mentally where we are, it'll be a good season. Can Klopp turn it around? Yes, because he's Jurgen Klopp. Can the team turn it around? Yes, don't become a bad team overnight. But it's more than that. It's mentally, it's psychological. That's harder to change. That's harder to turn around. You can do all you want on the training pitch. You can say all the things you want. But mentally, in everybody's headspace and stuff like that, they've got to do it themselves. Klopp can't even do it for them. They have got to do it themselves. And that's my worry. Can they? You'll find out. You'll find out midweek against Ajax. That's another big one. That's a big one midweek. Hit the like. Let's get it to 25. 123 likes, guys. Hit that. Smash the like button. Dave's LC Chat, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. But as I say, nearly an hour in. Crazy. I'm lost for words. Almost lost for words. Voice is almost gone. Forest 1, Liverpool 0. Wow, wow, wow. I didn't think I'd be doing an instant match reaction like this. So poor. So poor. Really, really poor. Where do we go from here, guys? Where do we go from here? I'll do another live maybe tomorrow. A bit more reaction to it. I'm sure the reaction on Twitter is crazy. I'm sure it is. The FSG outers will be trending. Klopp outers will even be trending. Let's be real. The Klopp outers will be trending today. That was such a poor performance. But just pick up and go again. As I say, it's no use, sobbing in the corner, getting your handkerchief out. We've got to go again. We've got to build. We have got to go again. We've got to go again. Start getting a few wins together. Really do. 3 losses now, all away from home. United, Arsenal, and Forest. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I did not think I'd be saying Forest beating Liverpool. 11 or 10 to 1 they are with the bookies. And the bookies don't usually get it wrong. They got it wrong today. If anybody put big money on Forest winning today, oh my God, probably a few and far between. So poor. So poor. Instant match reaction. OMG. Liverpool. Not only did I expect them to be lumberjacks and cut down the forest today, I really did. A bit of deforestation today. But we just didn't turn up. We did not turn up at all. We were the ones deforested today. We just, so bad. So bad. I wouldn't like to imagine being on that tour bus back. Imagine being on that tour bus back to Kirby or Anfield or Liverpool today. Wouldn't be good, would it? I think we lacked out on the players we wanted. We lacked out. We backed out or lacked out on the players we wanted. Backed out, I think you mean. We also knew Tuchemeni wasn't going to Real in the winter and didn't do shit. Well, he went to Real. I think we were asleep at the boat there. Maybe he always wanted to go to Real. Maybe, possibly. No, Liverpool were interested in Real once they come in. Unfortunately, you go to Real. FSG are psychological lawyers. I never seen honest billionaires as part of the curriculum. If Klopp agrees with them, then he's part of the problem. I'm sorry, you can't start Jones and Carvalho. Simples. Well, you can when you've fucking no bench or you've nobody. I mean, you could have said, okay, we start Dox. He hasn't played in 3 years. You could have said we play Hendo in midfield. Could have done that. But I mean, Jones must have done something in training to convince Klopp to start. He's young, should be hungry, but he keeps letting us down game after game and did again today. Did nothing today, Jones. That was a big, we said it earlier. This is a big game for Curtis Jones today. A big game for Curtis Jones today. But he did nothing, and he showed nothing, and it's a step backwards for Jones' development. Because he's got to turn up in games he's starting. Because he's not going to start many games. We're watching. Exactly my point. Yeah, absolutely. He's got to start. He's got to start games. And he's got to play well in the games he starts. Could have been vying for 4th place if we won today. Just wonder what is going on with this inconsistency. Do you think we are overtraining them? Says Andrew. Yes, I do. I think that the press, I think the 63 match seasons last year, the double, triple training sessions, it's not great in your ligaments, it's not great in your muscles. It's all about high lactate, high intensity. We all know what happened. The Curse of the Pep Blinders intensity book, ever since that came out, we went backwards. We're exactly lacking intensity. I'm sure he's not happy about that book out because we are not intense at the moment, are we? We did it against City, to be fair. We've done it in the odd game. But only in minutes and 5 6. It's hard to keep it up for 90 minutes. We did it the year we won the league. We did it last year in the big 63 match season when we almost won a quadruple. Let's be real, almost. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Are people getting older? Are they finding us out? Are other teams finding us out? Psychological, yes, that's a big part of it. But I think it's mental. psychological. I think and that's even more of a problem for us. That's not easy to change, you know. That is not easy to change. That's a bigger problem than just saying a bit of form. Because we've seen dips, we've seen highs, we've seen lows. Seen dips, seen highs, seen lows. We've seen highs last week against City. Seen lows today against Forest. Jones hasn't kicked the ball in months, but that's all he had. If Salah went off injured, who was understudy? He's 17 and injured. Trent's understudy, 17 and injured. That's how to progress. Well, look, we can cry, we can bark till the cows come home. Fact is, that team went out today, should have been good enough to beat Forest and wasn't. Didn't show enough, didn't do enough, didn't have enough belief, didn't show anything today. Klopp's disappointed. I'm disappointed. The fans are disappointed. I'm sure the Royal fans are delighted. Forest fans are absolutely delighted. But we did not do enough today to win that game. And if we would have got anything at the end of it, it probably papered over the cracks. Need to kick up the arse. Big time. We got to turn up against Ajax midweek. They will beat us. There's no doubt about it. We got to be on our A game. We got to be tighter. We got to be hungrier against Ajax midweek. I know we only need a draw, but don't go into it only saying you need a draw or you lose. You've got to go into that thinking you're going to win. And after that Forest game, Ajax will be showing that game on repeat in the dressing room to the Ajax players saying, get at these. They're not all what they think they are. I know we seem to be a different animal in the Champions League, but we could certainly be got at, and that's the danger for me. That is the big worry for me. We can be got at. Whereas seasons gone by, you couldn't really get at us. You get an odd result, a performance out of us, but we never usually lose. I mean, we've lost 3 games this season already. In what, 12 games? Lost 3. The season last year, the last year's season, 2021-22 season, we only lost 2 league games. We only lost 2 league games over a 38-match season. Leicester City away, West Ham away. 2 games. We've lost 3 already in what? 12 games? Or 11 games, whatever it is. Not good enough. That is just telling you the drop-off. That is telling you right now the drop-off is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think I'll leave it there, guys. The voice is starting to go. I might do something later on. I don't know, but really poor. Hit the like and share before you go. Get it up to 25. Really poor performance today from Liverpool. Absolutely abject, dismal. Ajax is huge midweek. We've got to show something in that. We've got to go again. We will go again. I'm absolutely sure we will go again, but that was poor today. It's finished at the City Ground. Forest 1, Liverpool 0. Poor, poor, poor. Thanks for popping in. Stay safe. Talk soon, guys. Cheers. You never walk alone. All I can say is